Imagine you just bought an apartment building. You paid in cash. You find the deed. But then, like, every single month, you just keep writing a red check to the old landlord.
Yeah, that sounds completely crazy. I mean, why would you do that?
Exactly. But according to a specific entry we're diving into today, that is exactly how a lot of people treat spiritual deliverance.
Yeah, so we're looking at Pastor Chris's Rhapsody of Realities, specifically the March 24th devotional. It's called The Gospel of Deliverance. And it really just flips the entire script on, what breaking free actually means.
Right, because usually we hear deliverance framed as this grueling, ongoing struggle, like maybe an intense ritual or something.
Sacrifice or plea to be rescued, yeah. But the text argues that it's actually an immediate, already accomplished fact. Like the exact second someone accepts Christ, it's done.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's not some, 12-step process. But how does that actually work mechanically? I mean, just saying words doesn't usually rewrite reality.
Well, the author describes it as a shift in, spiritual physics. It's a total transfer of ownership. So the moment someone acknowledges a new lord based on Romans 10.9, the old landlord's contract is just instantly nullified.
Wait, so just the confession itself is the deliverance?
Exactly. It's presented as a strict logical impossibility. You literally cannot have Jesus as the supreme authority in your life while at the same time being ruled by Satan.
That makes sense. The new ownership automatically breaks the old one.
Right. The new dominion cancels out the previous one completely.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. What about the real-world baggage people carry?
Yeah, that's a huge question.
Because people worry about generational bondage or curses. If this transfer is instantaneous, why are so many people still trapped in these cycles? Are they saying the struggle is basically just like a placebo effect?
That placebo effect idea is actually remarkably close to the author's core thesis.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I mean, the text points to 2 Corinthians 5.17. It argues that anyone in Christ undergoes a complete spiritual reset. They become a totally new creature, so the old history is just wiped clean.
Oh, I see. So the root issue isn't actual literal bondage anymore.
Exactly. The root problem is ignorance. Because they are a new creature, the text relies on just 8.32, the truth shall make you free.
Right.
So carrying a defeated mentality is what keeps people in these so-called satanic strongholds. It's not an actual lack of deliverance.
So they're basically like trapped by a mindset, not an actual chain.
Yeah, when the text talks about strongholds, it isn't describing medieval fortresses holding people hostage. It's talking about deeply ingrained mental loops.
Wow. So it's the lack of knowing their own legal freedom that paralyzes them?
Exactly. They're entirely free. They just don't realize they hold the deed to the building, to use your analogy. It's the truth they don't know that holds them captive.
Okay, so if it's a matter of realizing what you already own, what does living from that new reality actually look like? Because the text specifically mentions operating from a seat of power.
Well, it requires a massive cognitive shift. The author synthesizes these final verses, Colossians 1.12 and 13, and Ephesians 2.6 and 1.21.
Okay, and what do those say?
They basically explain that believers aren't just given a clean slate, they are actually relocated. They are legally translated into the kingdom and seated far above all principality and power and might.
So in practical terms, they are fundamentally superior to whatever dark forces they think they're fighting.
Right. They are already superior to Satan, which means they require absolutely zero deliverance from him.
They are fighting for victory. They're fighting from a position of victory. They're already on the high ground.
Exactly. Deliverance isn't an event you schedule. It's an established reality you just have to wake up to.
That is a huge paradigm shift. So for you listening, the core takeaway is just that. The source insists deliverance isn't something to desperately seek out, but a historical fact of salvation to simply recognize.
Yeah, it shifts the entire burden. You can stop trying to fight a war that was already decisively won before you even stepped onto the battlefield.
Which leaves you with a really provocative thought to mull over. If you fully accept this premise, that your internal struggles are rooted entirely in a lack of awareness rather than actual unbreakable bondage, how might that radically change the way you tackle tomorrow's fears?
Yeah, that changes everything.
Because, if you really do own the building, it might be time to finally tear up that check to the old landlord.
We trust you were blessed by this episode. To gain unlimited access to Rhapsody of Realities by Pastor Chris, please download the Rhapsody app using the link myapp.rhapsodyofrealities.org. God bless you.